Alright guys, another video. Today's video is another really long video. It's another like 20-minute 1v1, and so I'm not going to commentate through the whole thing. I will just ramble. So if you get bored of my voice, I apologize in advance, but you were warned. So yeah, the reason, obviously, I'm fighting a Sage tank barb, and this is the leader of Gold Diggers. And let me kind of explain to you how this got started. I come out and get 7v1'd by him and his faction, and I was like, really? And they were trash talking, dude. They had a psychic, a full rank 9 psychic there with better gear than me. And they were just talking trash, and then he made the comment that I was the worst psychic on the server, which, you know, I never say I'm the best or anything like that, you know, and I know I'm one of the worst. I like, you know, I don't care, like I just laugh it off. But I was like, hold on a minute, I know there's at least one worse than me. So I figured I should try to dispute that fact a little bit. So I asked for a 1v1, and not one of the people he was with, like out of the 7, wanted the 1v1 except for him. And so I was like, I don't care if he's the leader. This is a Sage Barb, full rank 9, full plus 12, I think, except for maybe the weapon. I think his weapon's plus 11, but I mean, as a barb, when it comes to tanking crap, the weapon is not what you're looking to refine. It only infects your soul force, which is that's kind of a new thing. But anyways, like, bottom line, this is a Jade tank barb. Full Jade's a steady defense, full plus 12, so we're talking high HP and mad defense. And the cube neck, I believe, is level, I think it's 2nd stage. So, you know, the magic defense is actually also pretty high. So yeah, anyways, after, you know, he said I was the worst psychic on the server, I was like, oh, I can totally dispute that fact, I think. But anyways, yeah, so he came after me, mostly trying to abuse his purge. As you can see, he purged me there, but I just kited it. Not trying to be mean, he was doing it wrong. The way he was using his all-cold ice was timed incorrectly, and I kept getting away, and he wasn't clearing the stunning at all. But the difference between this and the demon barb that I fought before is that this one can actually just sit there and let me hit him. But bottom line, tips for something like full plus 12. I mean, this before I go on, this video, it did draw. It went on for 20 minutes. And I concluded, after about 20 minutes, my computer starts to freak out and being like, you're filling up my hard drive, you need to stop recording, or else I'm gonna fill up and I won't be able to save the video. And that's how I've lost a bunch of good footage before, and I didn't want that to happen again. So after 20 minutes, I called it a draw and said to the watchers, I was like, you can gank me, and you'll see that. None of them did it, except for one. Anyways, so yeah, basically it was a draw in the end, which is unfortunate. But then again, there's a pretty big gear difference. Anyways, let's see, what was I saying? Right, to kill the Sage tank barb, the biggest thing you gotta realize is that in Tiger form, it's a no-go. Like, there is way too freaking much HP in Tiger form. Like, the demon barb in Tiger form, not as much HP, if I recall correctly, which I might not. Who knows? I don't care. Anyways, bottom line, this guy's HP was way too freaking ridiculous in Tiger form, because, like, when you see him go to human form, like, he can be at, like, 60% HP in Tiger form, and he'll go to human form and like it'll be full almost again. That's how much ridiculous the HP is. Like, he ticked his charm once just switching to human form, which would have been great if he had armored for me right after, but he didn't. So anyways, yeah, the idea is you want to get them in human form for starters. While they're in Tiger form, just make them, you know, drive them crazy, you know, do what I'm doing, like stun lock them and keep them far away, obviously, and then eventually they're gonna get pissed and come to try and DD in human form, because if they're in Tiger form, you can like sit down in front of them and just be like, hello, I'm waiting for you to hit me. Anyways, bottom line, their damage is kind of crap in Tiger form, but their HP is insane, so you gotta try and go for the kill in human form. Diminished figure is a must, at least on barbs geared this well. Yeah, and so basically you get them in human form and then you try to go for the kill with diminished figure. The standard thing I would do is take them down to half HP, and then, you know, with the dim big, and then, you know, do a stun tide spirit combo or something like that. And as you'll see in this video, despite the fact that it was a draw, it wasn't like a complete utter fail. Like I would have liked to keep going, but at that point I was like, all right, my computer's hard drive is full and I can't keep going. And right now, actually, I think I had a class to go to. Maybe I don't know. Anyways, bottom line, it's like I think it's doable. You know, I would never say anything's not doable. If it's not doable, then the game is broken. Oh wait, the game is broken, which means it might not be doable. But if you followed my crazy babbling logic there, congratulations, be an engineering major. Anyways, so bottom line is, like, I think it's very doable to kill the barb, especially on the psychic. You've got the right skills, you just need to crit. When you get the crits, that's really what's gonna make the difference. So yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, if you're on equal gear with the barb, and if you're both endgame, like between your silence and the lack of the sage barb DD and crit, you should have no problem tanking it. Like I could tank this guy in black voodoo, but I just am, you know, I'm looking for the opening for the kill. I'm not looking at wasting my charm. And there's actually one point in the video, I think it was at the end when I was calling it a draw. I stood still, I took my hands off the keyboard, and I waited to see how fast they would kill me, and the barb by himself came up and DD'd on me for maybe 20 seconds. And the funny thing was, in White Voodoo, between White Voodoo, Soul of Silence, and my charm, he was unable to kill me when I wasn't doing anything, and I just was rolling in my chair laughing. I was like, really? Like, I don't even have to be here? Like, I can go AFK, and unless he purges my White Voodoo, he can't even kill me. I was like, that's sad, because I mean, if I finished my gear, if I had the gear that this guy had, like full plus 12 Jades, not a chance. That's the OP-ness of a psychic. A lot of people could, like QQ, they're like, oh, you got no skill, you're playing a psychic. And I was like, what? I have skill. And then they're like, no, you don't have to do anything to fight. And I was like, oh, that's what you mean. Okay, technically, I'll give them some credit for that, but I'd say there's still skill, because I've seen psychics that just fail. And you know they fail because they just get pooned, and it's lame. Like the ones that trash talk me, and then, you know, they won't 1v1 me. Anyways, so yeah, I have rambled on for less than half the video, so that's how long it is so far. So yeah, I mean, if you're having trouble with a barb, I would suggest amping your crit rate is one thing. I think I mentioned it in the previous video or some video. Offensive gear set. I would love to build one, but I'm not made of money. If I was made of money, I would, I don't know what I would do. I would like go do something fun. I don't know, not skydiving. That doesn't seem as fun as it sounds. Anyways, I'd find an expensive hobby to do when there's nobody to PK. Anyways, bottom line, an offensive gear set would be Diamond of Tiger, helmet, cape, and possibly a necklace that amplifies your crit rate and sacrifices your defense. Now, the setbacks of an offensive damage set are that they are offensive. They are not defensive. Like, even if you have Nirvana, hat, and cape, you're only gaining like 400 combined physical defense, whereas my current hat and cape give me 1,800 plus a little bit if you count the Vite bonus. So like, you will be squishy, but at the same time you're a psychic, you have psychic will, and when you're amping your offensive power by that much, you know, maybe one will duration in combat, like if you have full chi and you do Tide Spirit and then you re-nuke them and then you EV and then you nuke them a little more, you've got enough chi to use Tide Spirit, and you've still got your genie to fortify. So, you know, you could do a pretty nasty combo there. And I mean, especially if you're demon. If you're demon, I think you could do it even with my crap gear, you know, without the offensive gear set. But if you're sage, like as a sage psychic, the hardest thing end game is just getting the actual DD to kill something this tanky solo. So yeah, an offensive gear set like that is really what it is. And as you can see there, he got the purge and went for the Arma, but since I was having no trouble tanking him, my genie was ready for it, and I just threw down the expel, and then I stunned him, and then I immediately just went back into chi build mode. So yeah, when the Armas come down, I don't know, Sage Arma, not that much damage in my opinion. I think he hits me with an Arma at some point in this video, and it did like maybe 3k, maybe less, I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. I just laughed at it and was like, really? Oh, there's his gear, by the way. As you can see, he's using a ring, a magic ring, which means he's got like a second cube neck's worth of magic defense there. And the Nirvana heavy armor cape actually is one of the best capes magic defense wise. In combination with the necklace and the all that, you see there's the armor hitting for only 3k, which means even if he had critted, it would have only hit for 6. I guess Goff would have one-shotted me, but whatever. He didn't, because he's Sage, and I laugh at that. So anyways, yeah, the other thing, I think his weapon might be sharded accuracy, so that's another reason he wasn't able to kill me. But bottom line is, with the gear he had, he should have been able to kill me. Rephrase. With the claim he made, he should have been able to kill me, because if you have full plus 12, full Jades, and you can't kill the worst Psy on the server, that's just not good. I don't know, maybe I'm being mean. Anyways, you guys can judge that for yourself, and you just, as you can see, it's not that hard to stun lock the barb, especially when they're not abusing stuff. I think the one thing that I had to notice was that his solid shield was significantly more effective than the other barbs that I fought, which I think is just a combination of his gear in tandem with the solid shield. But yeah, I mean, really, end game, like, okay, here's how it is. End game, the only way to kill an opponent is if they fail at killing you and by burning all their chi. Like, for example, if a barb had full chi, right, and they want to come in and kill you, so they're going to play it safe, right? They go, say they do invoke, and then they build one chi, and then they run over and try to arma you while invoked, so that they don't instantly die after the arma. Like, you know, you wait out the 20 seconds, and they've got like 0 chi because they just used 4 sparks. Like, you know, that is your opportunity to go for the kill, and at that same time, you need to burn everything you have to do that. Now, ideally, if they did something like that, they would use Holy Path on their genie, because invoke slows their movement, and then their genie would also be in cooldown, so they can't even use it to defend themselves from your counterattack. But like, counterattacking is the only way to win, because like, if you have a super endgame gear Psy, you shouldn't die, I guess would be the right terminology. Like, you know, if you've got a full plus 12 psychic with full Jades, like, if you stay in white voodoo, like, you can't die. Like, it just, they, like, okay, nobody except assassins have like the kill power, you know, assassins and archers really only get lucky if they're purge procs or something like that, or if they catch you in black, which, I mean, if you have a belief genie, like, bottom line, end game, it's, you just shouldn't die if you A, know how to use your character, and B, you know how to you know, not fail, I guess would be how you say it. But anyways, the point is, the only way to then get kills if both players are playing extremely defensively is to abuse, oh, right there, he got really close. You see, he got really close because I physical immuned when I was at like no HP, and then he purged my physical immune, but because I had not had to use my genie or anything, I just had to re-physical immune, and his purge was in cooldown, so I win. Yay. Anyways, what I was saying is, if you want to kill people end game, you really just have to tank it out until you can kill them, because the only class that can open straight up offense and come away with it with a win on a, you know, decent success rate is the assassin, because they have the straight DPS to hurt people who have endgame gear. Wizards and psychics do not. Ironically, it's lame. Yes, the DD classes fail, but like, alright, if you're coming up against like full plus 12, you know, BMs, like a wizard cannot just, you know, Undying Strike, Gush, Pyrogram, you know, whatever, like Stone Rain, you know, they can't just drop it. It's gonna take some setup, some coolness, you know, when they come in, you're gonna have to seal them, distance shrink, get them down to half HP, sleep them, Blade Tempest them with Spark, something more like that, you know? Like, there's just no straight up kills unless they're already engaged on somebody else. Like if a BM is out, you know, fighting somebody else, and then you come from behind and nuke them, you know, then a lot of classes have the kill power to, you know, straight up DD, even Seekers do, which I think it's funny when Seekers, like, I'll be fighting people and then a Seeker gets like a Goth crit from their full rank 9 Gemini Slash and then they're like, haha, you fail. And I was like, I fail? Really? You ganked me while I was in Black Voodoo? Like, come on, dude. If I was in white, you wouldn't even take my charm. But anyways, bottom line, the Assassin is the only class that can straight up like open with offense and come away with kills rather successfully. So, I mean, that's why, you know, there are a lot more offensive playstyles than mine. You know, like, there's psychics that live in Black Voodoo, and those psychics tend to die a lot more, because when they get caught, they're screwed. My style of play is you go, you know, you go defense, and then you just wait for the opening, and then you take it, and then you go straight back to defense, and then, you know, because the psychic is a defensively OP class with white voodoo, like, that's all there is to it. So, you know, I mean, I'm not hating on the offensive playstyle. I used to be so offensive, but I realized I was losing a lot of duels, because I you know, I didn't start PK. I started dueling at level 70, and then at that point I was the worst psy on the server. But like, it's just the way things are now. Like, the offensive playstyles only work on assassins because, I mean, maybe archers can sometimes get away with it, but you gotta be sneaky. Like, if they see it coming, there's a lot they can do. And what I see is, like, so many archers nowadays, they just spark and AD and IG and then wait for, like, their BMs to catch up to you while they sit there in their Iron Guard just auto-attacking. And it's like, really? Like, come on, get some skills, yo. Anyways, I'm not gonna rant about that, but yeah, I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, right, yeah, the Sin. You know, Sins are OP. Against barbs like this, they do have a little bit of a disadvantage because the Sage Barb's physical defense in Tiger form is nasty. But what I was saying is that, you know, when it comes to endgame, the defensive playstyle that you see on my character it really is built to fight endgame, or at least middle to endgame, since I'm not endgame. Anyways, I think you guys understand the point that I'm trying to make. The offensive style, you need to have the offensive know-how, like which skills, how to use them, in which combos, like stuff like that. And it doesn't matter, this is universal, this is not psychic specific. You gotta know how to make your class as deadly as possible, while at the same time you need to know when to use that offensive mode, as opposed to when you need to try and kite and tank more. I guess that kind of applies more to, oh yeah, here, I was trying to go for the kill by getting my rank 8 ring, which increases my crit and magic attack a little bit, but, yeah, password thingy, fail. So yeah, I didn't bother. That's another thing that's offensively, the rank 8 ring is hacks, because it's 4% crit. 4% is a lot. I would love to see 4% crit on like a rank 9 ring or something, but I have given up on ring engraving. I got, my rank 9 ring went like metal resistance, water resistance, metal resistance, plus 10 dex, which pissed all the archers in my faction off. And then I went from plus 10 dex to plus 9 dex, and then I went back to plus 10 dex, and then I got HP, and it was like plus 87 HP, I think, or something like that, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna reforge it, because somebody said reforge it. So I reforged it, and I got dex, or something like that. Bottom line, I've had the worst luck possible with ring engraved, so I've given up. I'm gonna try and reroll the plus 7 magic on it at some point. But yeah, like, the rank 8 ring does give you higher attack and crit rate than just about any other ring, so it is a good ring, but it's fail at defense, obviously. Defensive rings for a psychic, if you want pure physical defense and you're willing to sacrifice your attack power for it, get a sky cover. If you can't afford a sky cover, get the physical lunar ring, because, you know, the sky cover is basically like a cube neck physical defense wise when you refine it properly. If you want a pure offense ring, I would suggest the Cloudster for attack levels, or your rank 8 ring, and give your rank 8 ring either a ring engrave of magic or crit. Magic attack is not my favorite thing to add. I really don't see the point. Anyways, I think this is the part where I gave up, because I said, yeah, my hard drive's getting full, And did I do it yet? No, I didn't do it. I put my mouse over fly. I was like, maybe I'll leave, and then I was like, nah, I'll just let him gank me because I know they want to. Yeah, there's the call, and I think this is the part where I just gave up. And as you can see, he put his anti-stun on for no reason, and I'm just like swiveling my camera around, like, come on, hurry up and kill me. I was expecting the other people to gank him, gank me, but they didn't. And as you can see, you know, I am not hitting any skills, any potions, anything, and he can't kill me. Tra la 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 la, and he's even like, yeah. Oh, just one quick note. He did. I don't look at the forums much, but one day I noticed this topic about best players of each class on the forums, and I went to look because I was interested to see, like, maybe I could find some people worth 1v1ing, especially for certain classes. Wasn't successful, but by the way, this is considered to be one of the best barbs on the server. There were notes that said he was the best tank barb on the server, not the best barb. But yeah, best barb versus worst psychic, and there's the sin for the kill. Anyways, that was boring. I hope my rambling made it more entertaining, and I will see you next time I upload a video. Have a nice day.